Welcome back to the Pod of Thrones continuing coverage. San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer. I almost did the news beep, beep, beep thing. I was like, that's so lame. That's so lame.
So, amongst the many things we did, I think, well, one of the highlights, the highlight, is really hard to say. There were a bunch of highlights, but I would say, given that it was you and me and your son, this is definitely way high up on the list. We are big fans of a show called Impractical Jokers.
Everybody knows what Impractical Jokers is.
So last year, which was our first Comic-Con, we spent a lot of time waiting in lines for Hall H, the big hall where they do all the big things. And I know it was on Saturday. That's when Game of Thrones was there. We couldn't miss that. Someone had to be there. But we also got invited to participate in the Impractical Jokers Block Party, which happens across the street from Comic-Con at San Diego's lovely Petco Park baseball stadium.
Petco. I wonder if Sophie, the Pot of Thrones dog, could come.
Dog of Thrones, Sophie?
Pot of Thrones.
I don't think I saw any dogs in there. Did you?
We should get a dog named Podrick so that we can call him the Pot of Thrones.
That's a good idea.
Okay, sorry.
Of course, by the time we do that, there won't be a Game of Thrones anymore.
There
will
no
always
dogs.
be a Pot of Thrones.
No, I don't think there were any dogs. Maybe a service dog or two.
Yeah, quote unquote service dogs.
People, you got to knock it off with that.
So anyway, you went to the Impractical Jokers Block Party without me
Last year.
and I was sitting in Hall H. Now, the nice thing about Hall H,
Air conditioner.
air conditioning. Oh yes, not the most comfortable seats, but very nice and cool. And sitting there all day on my duff.
Gosh, it must cost so much money to run that place.
I think about that a lot. Yeah, just the whole convention center, all cold inside.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But out in the sun, where you were baking nicely, was the Impractical Jokers
It
Block
was so
Party.
hot.
But you had a really good time.
I did have a good time. I mean,
last year, but
I didn't have a fantastic time, except for the time that I got to talk with the Jokers. That was fun. But other than that, I was walking around by myself, taking pictures, being hot, wondering where the bathroom was, trying to find water because I ran out or I didn't bring it. I lost my water.
Were they giving out infinity free drinks last year?
No.
Oh.
Sophie.
Sophie really wants to be on the mic.
Last year they were not.
So they stepped it up this year. See, the experience I got this year blew me away.
But I might have not known about it.
Okay, well, maybe.
It's possible.
I would think that'd be hard to miss, but all right. So this year, we got invited back, and this year's Hall H had no Game of Thrones to cause any kind of conflict.
Woohoo!
Which,
Party! It was a
HBO, you really disappointed me this year. I love you still, but really disappointing HBO.
You know who we really love?
truTV.
They are so awesome.
I mean, really. Yeah, we're becoming truTV fanboys and girls now.
Thanks. Thanks for letting me represent.
Fan people. So we got to go back. Last year, you recorded the press conference. This year, we both recorded it. So we got audio and video. Your son got to be there. He got to sit on a little
They
chair
asked
right in
him
front of the
questions,
Jokers.
and he was just like,
That was pretty funny. And they were super nice guys. Brian Quinn, a.k.a. Q, almost didn't make it to the press conference because he has a summer cold. But thankfully,
so
he
says.
powered through.
So he says.
It was almost a disaster, though. I was going to be really sad if he didn't go there because you know me.
You like Q.
I like Q because he is part of the 3-man podcast Tell 'em Steve Dave, which is one of just a couple that inspired me to finally want to start podcasting in the first place. It's one of my favorites.
Among other things, he does a lot of things.
Q?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does.
He has a comic.
He does other shows.
Metro
He's
comic.
Putting out a comic right now that just finished its Kickstarter campaign.
Tenderloins.
Well, the Tenderloins are the Impractical Jokers.
I thought that was like a separate show, though, or a separate podcast.
It's all mixed together. Well, they don't have a podcast anymore.
What? Oh, they stopped.
The Tenderloins podcast had like 12 episodes 2 years ago, and then they stopped. He does a podcast called What Say You with Sal Vulcano, one of the other Impractical Jokers / Tenderloins, but they haven't put out an episode in like 6 months. But they said they're coming
busy.
back.
They were doing a movie.
They were just doing a movie. Yes. So the Impractical Jokers movie they're plugging this time. But I asked Sal off mic if What Say You was coming back, and he said soon because they're going to be doing some live shows coming up anyway, and so it's coming back.
Awesome. Yeah, I can wait.
And they made a movie. So they just finished principal photography on the Impractical Jokers movie, which from what we gather has a little bit of a story, but is also mostly just
more Impractical Jokers. Yeah. Jokers.
But I think they're traveling around this time. So
yes, didn't they
not
say
just
they
in
went
New York City?
I can't talk today. They went to. They told us some places they went. Do you remember what they said? I feel like one was like.
But it's in the press conference. So.
Okay, well,
I don't remember.
People will hear.
I know that they can't come to California apparently, which they talk about in the press conference because that came up.
That's right.
So here we'll have the recording of the press conference. That's going to follow. And we also have video of the press conference. So I'll put that up on YouTube. And we took little bits of video and photos just throughout the day. We spent maybe a little over 3 hours there, I think. And they went all night. We could have stayed
all day and all night. We probably could have got free food again somehow. I don't know.
Or at least free drinks as the day kept sweating us to death. It was great. I mean, really great. Your son got his face painted.
Yeah, really good.
Really good.
Really good.
They had photo booths. They had this VR thing set up that I do have a short video of someone reacting to it when they were testing it out.
I didn't get to try it. Did you?
No, because it wasn't. They just didn't have it quite ready to go. They had a number of other little activities or like obstacle courses, sumo wrestling, a zip line.
The baby tires.
The baby tires. Which I have pictures or video of all those things. And
Scoopski
potato booth. And then they had free food.
No, the Scoopski potato.
Oh, the Scoopski
pool.
Potato ball pit. Yes,
ball pit.
Yes,
right. It was it was fun.
They had free food. Everybody that got into Petco Park that day got either a slice of pizza or a hot dog and some ice cream. They had all the drinks you could ever ask for. It was
a bar. They had a bar, but that wasn't free.
Well, that wasn't free. Yeah. But it was a really, really awesome setup. truTV should be proud of themselves. And good on them for supporting their most popular show. Was Game of Thrones HBO's most popular show at Comic-Con?
No.
Shame.
Shame.
Ding, 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 ding. Do you have a bell? Oh, you do. Let's try this again. Take 2. Beep. Shame. Ooh, Dog of Thrones did not like that. She doesn't know what that means. Ooh, okay, well, she's going to poop on me or something, so stop it.
I'm sorry, Dog.
All right.
She's so scared.
So we had a day with the Impractical Jokers. It was very cool. And, and you bought James Murray's book. Do you want to talk about that now or later?
I bought his book, and it's called Awakened, and it is a thriller, I believe.
Did you start reading it yet?
No, but my daughter did. 13-year-old.
She read it or started?
She started reading it. She read the first few pages, and yeah. So he was okay. Bought a book at Impractical Jokers Block Party, and he told us during that party that he was going to. Oh, Sophia is being so pushy. He was going to the hall the next day for a book signing. Right. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll get it signed by him. Well, we went there. It took me a really long time to find this place because I went to his booth.
Publisher's booth. Yeah.
I went to the publisher's booth.
Right. Publisher's booth.
Publisher's booth.
And they weren't there.
They weren't there. No, well, yeah, James wasn't there. They were there. They're like, oh, I think he's upstairs in room AA03 or something like that. Yeah. So I'm on my I'm looking and looking. Finally, I find this totally rad old man. And he's like, hey, how can I help you? And I told him where I was going. He's like, I think you want this autograph place right over here. Just walk through here and go there. And he had been going there for 40 years, never missed a year.
Wow.
I know. I should have interviewed him. Instead, I was rushing to get Murray's.
Well, I had found the booth.
You had found the booth, right? And then
you.
I had found the booth shortly thereafter. And he was like, go ahead, you say what he was doing. Because I didn't see what he was doing before I got there.
They were supposed to be signing till like 1 o'clock, but at some point there was a big line. They had capped the line to finish it off. But then when the line was all done, it wasn't 1 o'clock yet. It was still like 1:45. And there were a bunch of people outside the zigzaggy thing you go into for the lines, and just watching and waiting. And then the Comic-Con people were like, you guys can't collect here. You got to move along.
Well, were they waiting for his autograph?
Well, yeah.
And they weren't in line?
They weren't allowed to get in line because the line had been capped earlier.
Oh.
So they wouldn't let those guys anywhere near Murr. And then people started ushering him out. And you tried to catch his attention when you got there. You got there just as he was walking away.
He was standing for like a minute or two talking with his people kind of off to the side in the back. And I stood there like waiting for him hopefully to walk my way. But unfortunately, he walked the other way. And then I was going to chase him. I think, but that was it. Yeah, somebody got a shelfie. Let's just call this. And he was just walking away, and I started kind of going after him, and then somebody interrupted him, and then they like shuffled him even faster. So I was like, ah, fuck.
But after that sad event, you went back to the exhibit hall, and I continued on to
I cried
to get in line for the superhero IRL panel. We haven't put up the audio of that yet, but the video is up on our YouTube channel. So look in the show notes here.
Go take a look.
Look in the show notes here.
We need 100 of you to look.
So that we need 100 of you to subscribe.
Subscribe.
We just started doing this YouTube stuff. I only heard about it 3 weeks ago. So this superhero IRL panel, it's this really positive, anti-bullying, really inclusive group of people talking about their life experiences and how we should make the world a better place. But one of the people on the panel was Joe Gatto, and also friend of the show, Dr. Janina Scarlett. But Joe Gatto was there. So I said, babe, what you should do is explain what just happened to Joe and say, will you sign my book instead so we can rub it in Murray's face? Is that what you wound up saying to him?
Sort of. Yes. Eventually. I don't want to go through the whole story because it's long.
We don't need every step. But you did see him after the panel.
I saw him after the panel, and I told him that exactly what had happened, and he signed the book, and he said, I can't remember what he said right then, but he said, oh, this will dig him or something like that. And then he signed it. What did it say? I'm the better one anyway. Yeah, we'll take a picture of it. I'm the better one anyway. Okay. Hilarious.
Yes, he is awesome.
I need a close-up of it, and then at Murray.
Right.
At Murr. Mm-hmm. At truTV.
So that happened. There you go.
That was pretty funny.
So here we go. I'm at the panel, and then keep an eye out. Go to our YouTube channel, bookmark it now, because I don't have the video up there yet, but there will be video of the panel and other highlights of the day. Okay. Anything else, babe?
Subscribe
to us, and watch the Impractical Jokers, because they're fucking awesome.
And hilarious.
Love that show.
Let's watch them right now.
All right, let's go.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I have my food here.
No, you're good, man.
No, enjoy.
Yeah, munch on.
You want to sit near me? You don't want to? He's sick too, right?
No,
well, if I sit near you here, if I sit here, I'm still sitting next to him. So I'm sitting. Yeah, but I think I got a cold. I got a summer cold, and he's going on vacation. So I'm going to do my best to make him sick.
All right, guys. Why don't we just kind of start down the line and we'll go through and we'll go for about 15-20 minutes.
Great, guys. Okay. I'm just going to eat this for nutrients. Nice. I'll right in it with you, though.
All right. Yeah, she's going to get skipped. She doesn't know what to ask yet. We can start with whoever has a question. Anybody?
How you guys? What about this guy? You got a question?
What's your deal?
What's your deal?
Who do you know to get in here and sit right up front like that?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I was wondering, and maybe you guys have already said this, but who is the most popular in your opinion?
In our opinion?
Yeah.
Murray.
Each one of you.
Yes, collectively, we've taken votes. The four of us think that I am.
Yeah, Murray.
Ironically, I think that Q, Sal, and Joe are more popular.
Yeah.
So it's outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think everybody has fan favorites. I think so.
There's definitely different teams, but everybody's all team funny.
That's it.
I also want to ask you, is Remington?
I haven't seen him. I don't know. He's fine. Around. I heard he's walking. I don't know.
You have a second baby?
Yeah.
Did you know?
I do. No, he's doing very well. Thank you. He turns one in a couple weeks. I'm excited to be back. Yeah, I missed last year because he was popping out then. So now, yeah.
Oh yeah, he was born last year.
Yeah, last year.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, his birthday.
The baby's born in the summer.
May, spring. Yeah.
When's his birthday?
His birthday is July 31st. Yeah. Did you think you would stop me? You know what's ironic is you guys are asking more questions than the press in the press conference.
I have a question.
Yeah, said it.
Do you guys get together on each other's punishment, and one of you comes up with the idea, you develop it? I gotta say, sometimes Sal's punishment scenes is pretty bad.
Thank you.
I agree. The download his phone is ringing, but every time I watch it, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's such a cringe movie. You guys all come up with that, or?
Yeah, most of the time, one of us will leave the room to use the restroom, and the other three guys will have an idea and inspire. And you walk back in the room like, shh.
He pees a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes punishment will just come up because in the beginning of the season we just sit in the room and talk about ideas, what would be terrible to do, and then we just develop it for one person. So it's like, what if you disrupted some sort of like really snooty event, and it was like, oh, let's make Sal do this, and then we developed, and Casey actually made you're here, right? Hey, Casey. Casey actually made the Whose Phone Is Ringing song for us.
Did you know when you wrote it and made it that hundreds of millions of people would download it? It would have more plays online than Psy's Gangnam Style?
Yes.
Did you know that?
I knew. I could see the future.
Didn't we say to you when we asked Casey, because we don't know how to make music, we asked Casey to make the music, we said, make it like Gangnam Style as a ringtone.
No, you said, what was it? Like, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? That's right. Who let the dogs out? Yes.
Oh yeah. Whose phone is ringing? Mine.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out? Well, we just got a lawsuit.
There's slights up.
So it was almost Whose Dog Is Ringing, but that didn't make any sense.
Casey comes up with a lot of ideas, and he gets credit and pay for none of them. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really good setup for Casey.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? There was all those songs we did. There was
I'm
one.
a sensitive guy with too much
Yeah,
pride.
yeah.
Cry on the moon.
At this point, it's funny
James,
if you make a reference.
What's the pet cremation? Grandparent divorce. Called James S. Murray, of course. No. That's Casey Jones. And his handiwork.
Vivian Burge.
Have you finished up your new movies?
We have finished principal photography on the movie. Yeah, it was really fun. We finished in June, actually my birthday, June 5th. And it was awesome. Really, really good. We worked with Funny or Die. Chris Henchy was the director, and really, really great time.
Comes out next year.
Yeah.
Is that all you guys can say about the movie, or anything to spill about
Do you
it?
have specific questions?
What do we not know about the movie then?
Nice. It's like,
What can you say about the
it's
movie?
mainly hidden camera. It's like, I'd say 80% hidden camera, and there's like 20% of a storyline, but the storyline's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. A little narrative.
I will say there's a punishment in the movie there's a scene in the movie that is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
More
Yeah,
embarrassing than 8 seasons of Impractical Jokers.
We did actually probably some of our best surprise work in the movie.
That's true.
Yeah, there was really, really 4 good surprises.
Which was difficult because we worked with a crew that we don't normally work with because of movie, TV union rules. And our crew on the TV show is very adept at keeping secrets, and they know not to say things. It's usually us that blows something. But the movie crew, we were very concerned because they don't know us, we don't know them, but they did a pretty good job. Yeah, of keeping everything on the wraps. They hit me with a wallop that I did not see coming.
This is probably my favorite. Actually.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So it's good. We're really happy with the way it came out.
What's it like the difference between, because with the TV shows you guys are using small cameras like this, is that different for the big screen?
Yeah, they use bigger ones.
The hidden cameras are the same.
The budget went up, and actually a lot of the budget got spent on what they call hides, which is basically where, like, when we make the TV show, it'd be basically a guy in the park with that and a fake, like, someone talking to him, and he has it under his shoulder or like on a baby stroller. But they would build these hides to hide the bigger cameras, and some of the stuff they came up with to hide these cameras was unbelievable. We showed up to set for one of the challenges, and we were on the side of the road, so we thought we'd be able to find them. We couldn't find them.
Didn't know.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Joe, I had a question for you. You're part of an anti-bullying campaign. You took it to WonderCon in Anaheim this year. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? And did you bring it to San Diego Comic Con?
I am. I will be on it tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It's part of the Pop Culture Hero Coalition. I talk to anti-bullying and share personal stories and listen to people's situations and try to advise the best I can.
How come nobody ever asked me about my bullying campaign?
Because the pro-bullying campaign is not as popular as the anti-bullying campaign.
I would think it would just balance it out.
Yeah. I remember the 80s, it was really popular.
They made movies about it.
Yeah, and now suddenly I'm the bad guy? It makes no sense.
In the 80s, they were the bad guys too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
really knuckled down on nerds back in the day.
You know what? I'm going to ask. Tell us about your bullying campaign.
Nerds, you got to beat them down. I'm kidding. Don't beat down any nerds.
Yeah, guys. So, obviously, you guys have been working together for 7-8 years, and which is
26 years.
Yeah,
28 years.
7 to 28 years.
Yeah, 7 to 28 years. Somewhere in between. I was wondering, like, how your relationship with each other has grown, or if you guys ever like bickered, or at one point like were like, I just.
Oh, we've had major blowouts over the years, but I feel like they've come and gone. We know how to deal with each other. I mean,
I've calmed down.
Yeah, he's calmed down. That's not really you. I mean, but he was, his best friend assaulted him in a park once.
On the movie, I punched a couch. Broke my hand.
That was good. Oh, that was the biggest blowout we had so far. So that was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
We're due for one of them. We were overdue for that.
Steaming pot.
With each other, literally, I would say probably 90% of the time. Yeah. So it's like sometimes we'll go months without having a break from each other. So it's like par for the course, I think.
Yeah, there's nothing unusual.
I think we handle it pretty well.
This is what friends do, though. Right?
We also take turns intervening on others' behalf. So we'll be like, you got to fix that about him, and somebody will have to talk to your friend for you. It's cool. It's like having multiple therapists.
The only reason that I was on with the blowouts, remember we were driving to the boat scene on the movie?
Yeah.
And we spent an hour talking you down about him?
Yeah.
That was the reason you didn't have the blowout, because I talked you down.
Calmed me down.
Yeah.
And what I did was I wound you up.
Yeah, you got me wound up, and then I punched the couch.
But now I'm totally cool.
Now everything's fine.
Now we're talking him down about me.
Yeah, you don't want to get into it. So
I don't even remember what it's about at this point. I think you slighted me in some way.
No.
And I used to take slights very seriously.
But that, I mean, if we're going to keep count, don't worry about it. You're still in last place. Well, second to last.
But this is what friends do.
Yeah, nothing unusual. We're actually, I would say, given our experiences and length of time, like I think we're better at it than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like we don't fight. We genuinely love each other. We genuinely enjoy spending time.
I would really like to know what you had an issue with me.
Actually, I don't even remember either. I don't remember. I'll try and if
They're both lying. I do. I'll tell you later.
Okay. I'm not lying. I'll tell you later. Say it now in front of all these people.
I'm not going to air out dirty laundry in front of this kid.
Yes.
He's not even supposed to be here. He doesn't even have anything to record with. He's sitting here.
He's got a press pass.
No, he's sitting here with a pass. He found it on the floor. It's crumbled.
He's got a Zoom 6 with that.
I will say this: at the end of the day, no matter all fights, things we get to go through, any one of us would probably say this. My best friends in the world, I would literally die for any one of them. So
yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Plus,
Laura, I'm loving this song so much.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. I know you have another involvement with Comic-Con that you decided.
These guys inspired me to write to publish the book. I wrote a book called Awaken to Thriller 14 years ago, and we weren't on TV. I couldn't get anybody to read it, literally. And now HarperCollins wrote the trilogy, and the guys reminded me that I wrote it 2 years ago. I said, you're right, and it just came out a few weeks ago. And I'm signing copies of Awaken tomorrow from 10 to 12 here at Comic-Con.
What are you doing now?
On floor.
Just anywhere I'm thinking to find you. I guess not good at promotion.
I don't
know where he's doing it? This is HarperCollins?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So how's everybody doing?
Yeah. I'm Steve Dave.
So 8 seasons in, now you're traveling around a lot for the movie, right? So as your popularity continues to grow, are you getting recognized more? Are more people ruining your bits?
Yeah, we get... The problem isn't necessarily when we are interacting with someone, because we know we're not going to start a bit if somebody knows us. But the problem becomes like when we're in a bit with someone and we're speaking, then someone recognizes us because they see us and they come over and they try to talk to us as we're, interacting and trying to pull something off. That's the worst part of it, because they could ruin something that's going great. Unbeknownst to them, they're just fans who want to say hello. So we have a team of people who just basically abduct people as they're going in to interrupt us filming. So that's the hard
It's very Secret Service.
Yeah.
Really, because they wear like those things in their ears, and they stand around and they look like just the regular public, but they're with us. And then when they see someone like approaching us, it's like swarm. And they just get that person out of there.
And we never see that person again, really. Good.
So last season, Murr, you almost got attacked when trying to fit a bra on a guy.
Yeah.
What are some of the other reactions, some of those mean reactions, and how do you guys deal with them?
It's very rare, honestly, because the concept of our show is that the joke's on us, not on the public. And I think people realize that we're embarrassing ourselves. So it's very, very rare, unlike a typical prank show where people get upset. And that's not the reaction we're trying to elicit anyway. But, we've had a couple of bad ideas along the way. We did in season 1, we were like, what if we go into a children's park, with the gates around it, and we baby talk the kids, and then baby talk the parents as well, and try to get them to baby talk back. Well, guess what? When a middle-aged man with no kids of his own wanders to a child's park acting strange, the cops get called. We learned our lesson that way.
Which one of you have been injured the worst during one of your shows?
Which one? What?
He broke ribs twice.
Yeah.
That's it?
I got a couple of ribs broken.
Twice.
One
side and the other side.
We were doing the stunt show for season finale, and an ATV flipped on me, and I broke 2 ribs on this side, and then we were shooting a bit, and a guy, it was my fault, and a guy tackled me, and I broke 2 ribs on this side, all in the same year. So, matching set.
I think that wins.
Yeah, I like it. I like the feeling. It feels you're alive, It's like Fight Club.
I remind you.
Yeah,
When's the next international episode?
We would one day maybe we'll do an Australia episode. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Think of that.
We don't speak any other languages, so it's kind of limiting.
Okay, yeah.
We went to the UK, so everywhere else.
It was talks of Australia, India, and Amsterdam.
I like that one. That was good. The American and English, they made it a little bit funny.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They were so smart over there too, which was so funny. Like when we were trying to do our normal, just like talk around people that we could get away with sometimes, because people in New York City, especially, are just so distracted. You're able just to do that. Like they would drill down, and we just weren't getting away with anything. So that was interesting over there.
Are you guys looking at doing any of your bits maybe outside of New York or the East Coast, maybe the West Coast, Midwest, anything like that in those areas?
Well, we've done a bunch. We did a Texas episode, New Orleans episode, Hawaii, Miami.
We try to push a tropical one.
Yeah.
We've done Hawaii, Miami, and a cruise.
Yeah, we might hit the Caribbean next December. Who knows?
Yeah, we keep doing that. We're like, what about a Caribbean episode? And they're like, well, you kind of did that already. But like, yeah, but not really.
Yeah. Well, San Diego's not a bad location, right?
Not at all.
I would love it. Love it. Have we done like extreme West Coast?
No, we should do like LA's. California's
it doesn't
dual party
play different enough. You know what I mean? It's got to have a feel of its own.
Yeah.
We did Nashville. Did we do Nashville? No, I thought we did
Texas.
We did Texas. It's got to feel different. So LA would be tough.
He brings up a good point.
California's a dual party consent state, so you can't shoot in camera the way you would in New York. It's a single party consent. Both people need to know they're being filmed before you film them. That's the problem.
That's why it's like so unfunny this state.
Well, any plans to bring the tenderloins to the West Coast? I know you guys got.
Sure. Yeah, we just got an email the other day. We're coming to California soon.
The Courageous with Basketball World Comedy Tour starts in 2 weeks.
I think it's Anaheim potentially, and then we were just here. We were in San Jose. We'll be, I think, in Sacramento.
Sal's in San Diego tonight.
I'm in San Diego. I'm here tonight.
Yeah, Sal's got a stand-up show at the Balboa tonight, right?
That's right. I mean, I don't know how quick these things turn over, but I have a show tonight at the Balboa at 10:30.
How quick they turn over? It's instantaneous. You're being live streamed.
Oh, are we live streamed?
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
It is live streamed.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Right, well, everybody, that's where it is.
What you guys can answer this as a group or individual? What was your favorite episode or prank? I know there's a lot, but
there's a lot.
My favorite was Joe as the wrecking ball, the genie.
That's a fun show.
Genie does as you wish.
Genie does as you wish. Yeah, that was definitely a good one. That was a lot of fun. I think everybody had fun in that one. Except my body and my neck when I caught that carpet.
That's my dad's favorite part.
Is it?
Yeah, every time you jack your neck up, he cries like
we had to cut out a couple choice words I said after that happened.
It's at this point, it's like it's actually become difficult to even remember.
Oh wait, you know what? Actually, though, when we filmed it, was like that was so much fun. The one where we did Not Dog That Ain't Me, when we dressed up as different characters and tried to fool the person. That was one when we finished it. We were like, that was so much fun to do. It was great.
The bit is that we hired. We had someone posing for the day as a temp, as a receptionist in a building, and we had people that were inside doing focus groups, and they had to exit and sign out to exit, and they would give them their envelope, pay for the day. So it was, what we did was we would have to exit to get the $20 envelope as ourselves, and then run around the back, get dressed in a crazy outfit, and exit again to try and collect another $20 each time, and see how many times we could get into a different outfit and pass the same receptionist before they called us out and said, "What are you doing? You're the same person." So it was like it was different than anything we've ever done. We got into all these wacky costumes and stuff. We're probably gonna play that again, right?
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. That's one of the best parts of the show right now is pushing until we all collectively come up with something that just redefines the show, evolves the show, changes the show, so it's not like a bunch of the same. Because I think we're approaching 200 episodes now. So
by the end of season 8, we'll have over 200.
If we don't do that for ourselves or for the viewer, it's not that much fun. So that was one of the things we did recently that rejuvenated all of us. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the other day we shot a really simple one where we just had to get someone to call someone else by a nickname that we made up. And it's so simple and so stupid, but we would die laughing. I mean, it was just so much fun. So we're kind of still rediscovering stuff, you know. It's silly how long it's still fun.
I have a question to Sal. With all of the gross things that you had to do, have a tolerance to...
I haven't built up a tolerance. I'm afraid to get all the gross things. I am definitely better off than I was when I started. But, I mean, it's a sliding scale, I guess, but like I still am not good with it really. You never really become fully. In the beginning, we were talking about this the other day. I think one of the first punishments or second punishments, I had to pick up dog duty, I guess, and just tell the guy, "I got this. I'll take this one for you. Just pay it forward." And I remember I wore a glove to pick it up. And I don't know if in this day and age of our show that would even fly.
Yeah.
I somehow convinced them in the beginning to just let me wear a glove, but I don't think it really gets easier. But because I've been through so much, I think you kind of weather a storm a little bit, and you're like, all right, I come out on the other side of it. But
yeah, well, that's the other thing too, because in the beginning you were a little bit more, you specifically were a little bit more cringy, but you build up a tolerance to do this. I mean, people forget, we did 200 episodes, but there's 3 bits an episode, so we've done this. Sal, what's that, man?
That's a couple million.
So it's a couple million challenges we filmed, and you just get better at it. So, I mean, you work up a little bit of a tolerance, so we have to push each other in a different way. That's why we started the whole "don't laugh" thing as one of the goals, try not to laugh, because that's a lot of fun too, and that's always consistent. It's always so hard to keep your shit together.
So we have one more.
Oh, yeah.
Who decides which reactions to make the episode? Are you guys part of that, or
when you say reactions, what do you mean?
If you do something to someone and it's not really that funny.
So you mean the public's reactions, the marks?
Yeah, we're involved in the editing. Is that what you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
We use what we get. I mean, if a person doesn't give a funny reaction, they won't be on the show. Yeah. We kind of got a feel for it now. In the beginning, we would go maybe 4 times each to get something funny, and as time goes by, we cut that down to once, twice. We know what we get.
So before Jokers, we made our own sketches for years and years, and so we kind of know how to edit and things like that, and so we oversee all the posts on it, make sure it's good, and we have a great team, host team, and team of editors.
They've been with us for a long time. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the day.
Thank you so much for coming down for your time. So I'm here at the Impractical Jokers Block Party, and I found a stand that says the Impractical Jokers Wheel of Doom mobile game experience. So I'm here with
Mike Doom.
Mike Doom.
Very serendipitous. My wife and I just changed her name this last few months ago.
Well, that is lucky.
Right.
So what is this game about?
So the game is you come one, come all, come spin the Wheel of Doom. So come check it out. So the idea of the game is you spin the Wheel of Doom and you play what the wheel commands. And the game that we're showing off today is one of the games inside of it, which is cry diving. So you play as Myrrh, crying and skydiving. So the idea of the game is you're trying to get as many coins as possible and avoid any obstacles. And obstacles come in as birds and sharks.
Sharks? Sky sharks?
Yeah, of course, because sharks are in the sky, right?
Oh, you hit a bird.
Oh no, yeah. So, there you go. And so Coins give you 5 points, and birds take away 10. So you want to stay away from them. So the idea is you try to get the high score here today, and if you get a high score, you win a prize. And we draw a prize every hour. There's a leaderboard right behind me that people are going to compete with. So the highest scores that we've seen so far are 14. Oh no, he's almost getting hit with a game. And the points start going, so it starts going bonanzas. Here we go. Right? Oh no. Sorry, I'm concentrating as well. So so if you see these little gold ferrets that come up, you want to get them because they're worth 50. All right, you got to dodge them. Oh, I'm going to get a good score. Look at this.
So, is this game out on mobile right now?
The game's not out on mobile yet. It's coming soon, so it's still in dev. So this is a pre-release. This is the first time anybody's ever seen. Oh no, I got hit by the shark.
Are you out?
I'm out of. Look at that. Look, I had 600 and now I'm down to 65. You got to watch out, man. It's hard. It's a hard game. Look at that.
So will this be iOS and Android?
So it's going to be iOS and Android.
Okay.
And should be out pretty soon. Yeah, coming soon, man.
All right.
Yeah.
How many different mini games are there?
TBD.
Okay. At least one for each Joker. That was Mer centric, right?
There's gonna be a whole bunch of mini games. So we have about how many do we have designed so far? We have 12 right now, and we'll see what the final count's gonna be. So there's a whole bunch of games inside there, all different. It's gonna feature all the different types of Jokers, and it's also some of them you play with the Jokers. Sometimes you play with 2 Jokers. Sometimes 1. So there's a whole bunch of different variety. You want to play? All right, let's do this. All right, here, let's put in a name.
All right, Gage is going to play this. Our little mini correspondent.
So hit enter. You're going to start, okay? And so you're going to use right and left right here to control.